There's something wrong with this, but I don't know what.
Yahoo! Now that looks nasty.
Hey, it's Hypertonick here. So, about at 10 a.m. Nintendo put up their Splatoon 2 Direct, and it was pretty good. It was kind of like the Nintendo Direct for the first Splatoon before the game came out. It was kind of in the style of that one, except this time it's talking about Splatoon 2 and not the first Splatoon. But yeah, the Nintendo Direct showed off some of the stuff that we already knew about, but more in depth, and then it also showed off some stuff that we didn't know about those topics, and then completely new stuff altogether. There wasn't a whole lot of new stuff, but there was still quite a few, at least enough to talk about. First of which is Copley Square, and it was a little more flushed out. Well, what I mean is that we saw a little bit more of the square. Well, specifically the shop area for the square. And pretty much all the shops are run by new people except for Sheldon at Ammo Nights. Plus, isn't it really wonderful how you could skip through Sheldon's explanations now? I mean, come on, the guy loves to talk about weapons a lot, so credit where credit is due for him, I guess. Also, Flo. Not progressive Flo, but the Flo that runs the hat shop in this game. She's characterized as the crazy old aunt, and pretty sure, as you can see, that works out really well. Another thing that we saw in the Inkopolis Plaza was where you can go to play Salmon Run, the new mode. And something that caught people off guard was that Salmon Run's on a schedule, and you're probably thinking to yourself, oh, so by schedule you mean like the rotations that all the maps are on for all the other game modes, right? No. I mean Salmon Run is on a legitimate schedule where you can play it for this amount of time and then you can't play it until it starts again. And you're like, okay, how long do I have to wait? A few hours? No, a few days. Well, okay, not a few days, but you have to wait so like the first schedule says that you can like play on this day from 5 p.m. to the next day at 5 p.m. So basically a day. And then you can't play it for a day. So you're like, oh, it's an every other day thing. Yes. Until it says that you can't play it for more than one day. Like 2 days. I don't really understand that. I don't know why you can't play Salmon Run as much as you want to. Well, online at least. You can play it as much as you want to with your friends, but not online. But I'm pretty sure there must be a reason. But it's not really too much of a dilemma to argue about. There was also a few new maps shown off. I forgot what it's called, but I'm putting it up on the screen so you can see what it's called right now. But there's also another returning map coming to Splatoon 2, and that's Port Mackerel. So Fishy Fisher will like that. And also Port Mackerel is using sponges for like for it to be like the walls that you see that you can hide behind. But then if someone inks it, you can like not be on the sponge anymore. That's actually a nice gimmick. It's kind of like the ink rails in Moray Towers. So I like how they're changing up the returning maps to make sure that it's not the same exact map. There's also a really interesting note to point out about the ranked battle modes. For each ranked battle mode, you have your own rank. So like, you can build up one rank for the Splatzones mode, and you can build up your other rank for Tower Control and Rainmaker. So like, losing a match of Tower Control, say, will bring down your rank of Tower Control, not one in general rank. You have 3 separate ranks for the 3 separate modes. There's also new weapons. Oh, they showed off a new roller type. I forgot which one it's called, but I'm putting it up on screen. They showed off a new roller type, they showed off a new charger type, and then a new dualies type. And they all have specific, like, features to them that make it different from, like, the standard dualies or standard roller. And there's also, like, this new type of blaster, and that actually looks really cool to master. That kind of rhymed. Blaster and master. Kill me. And then they also showed off more about the free updates that'll happen for about a year after well, like, the free updates will go on for a year once the game comes out, and one of the updates will have a new weapon type. So we saw a new weapon type, and it's the Splat-brella. So basically an umbrella that you could splat people with. Well, like, it shoots out ink, but then you could also block incoming ink. So that's cool. It's kind of like a shield and a defensive. It's like a defensive and offensive weapon. And then there's also a new specials shown off for the update, which is like you could like blow bubbles and then have your teammates pop them to make big bursts of ink. That was really creative. I would definitely not be able to think of something like that. Oh yeah, and they also showed off more of the sub weapons, more of the special weapons, how it's completely all new, and yes, again, stuff that we already know, but way more in depth. I really liked all the new specials that they showed off, like the one where you could make your entire team like have increased amount of stats and have a lot more power, a lot more defense for like that amount of time, and also the baller. That one looks awesome. You're just rolling around in a hamster ball, run into people, and then like your hamster ball explodes, and then the ink radius around it. That looks really fun. One of the big things for people when they saw the Direct was the new abilities, and one of the new ones was like a drop roller, where you could like, when you super jump, you can like instantly roll out of the way in case anyone's shooting at you. So that's really good. Finally, you don't have to be worried that you'll immediately get splatted once you super jump. I mean, you could have already splashed down when you could have done your super jump, but now you could not waste your splash down and then just dodge roll out of it, and then maybe do a splash down if there's anyone in your way trying to shoot you, but they're like, oh, you rolled out of the way, but then I'll splash down you for trying to shoot me while I'm super jumping. That's actually a pretty good combo. I want to try that out now. And then they also showed off how the little urchin dude, again, I forgot his name, but he showed off how the little urchin dude can like shuffle your, well, not shuffle, but either like take away or give you a new ability. And then the other big thing for this Nintendo Direct of Splatoon 2 was the Splatfest coming back. They said that the Splatfest will go on for about, I believe, 2 years, so I guess no Splatoon 3 for the next 2 years then? And the biggest thing that's been on my mind, as well as everyone else's, is the new people that are going to be performing at the Splatfest and doing the daily announcements or like news broadcasts like whenever you start playing Splatoon 2, and that is Pearl and Marina. So when I first saw it, I'm like, what? Where's my Callie and Marie? But you know, a few hours passed and I got over it. I'm like, okay, I'm actually getting pretty used to this. I really like their theme. I'm gonna put it up right now. I really like that. I'm pretty sure I put it on in the background for this video at some point as well. But I like how I'm like, who are these people? Why? I don't want them to replace Callie and Marie. And now I'm all like, what? Okay, I guess it's fine. I'm alright with these guys. But I'm pretty sure everyone, or almost everyone, is on Team Marina. There's only like a few guys on Team Pearl, but personally, I prefer Marina. I like her more than Pearl, but at the same time, I still do like Pearl. So I don't know why, but the first time I saw Pearl's character design, the first thing I see is her massive forehead. I don't know why that's the first thing I see. Does anyone else see that, or is that just me? But yeah, Pearl and Marina are the two girls. I'm pretty sure their group name is Off the Hook. And what's even better about that is that their catchphrase that they say at the end of every news broadcast when you start Splatoon 2, they're gonna say, "Don't get cooked, stay off the hook." That's so cheesy that it kind of works. I mean, credit where credit is due. It's not as good as "stay fresh," but still, it's a catchphrase that is kind of, it's a really cheesy pun that it kind of works. Also, there's going to be a Splatfest for Splatoon 2, and it's going to come out 1 week before Splatoon 2 comes out. So it's going to be like a thing that you could download on the eShop, and then you could play it. So it's like, that's going to be the first Splatfest of Splatoon 2. Still, I don't know if Off the Hook will be better than the Squid Sisters, but considering that the Squid Sisters are still going to be in Splatoon 2 and have a main part in the single-player campaign, which, by the way, the single-player campaign was shown off, but not much was shown off about it, which is why I haven't talked about it. Nothing new was shown off about the single-player, so yeah, there's not really anything to talk about it, but still, I don't know if I was about to say Fresh Off the Boat. Do you know that show? Do any of you guys know that show? But I still don't think Off the Hook will be as good as Squid Sisters, but right now, I like them. They're pretty okay. So yeah, that's the Splatoon 2 Direct, and overall, really good, really hyped for it. I mean, you know, at the beginning, when I first saw it, I was really disappointed because Callie and Marie were not going to be performing at this Splatfest.